Hey guitar friends, welcome to All About Guitar Academy. Bob Strom here. Today we're going to be looking at 3 songs by Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. This is going to continue our series on how to play rock on your guitar. So grab your guitar, make sure you're in standard E tuning, and I'll see you in less than a minute. Hey guitar friend, before we get started on the lesson, if you're brand new at guitar and you want to learn how to play fast, like in 6 weeks or less, make sure you pick up your free ebook, Fast Track Guitar. I put this book together after an injury where I injured both my hands. I was unable to play guitar after 45 years, had to reteach myself how to play, and that's how this book came about. Then I also created a course that goes with it and takes you even further on your guitar journey. So make sure you check us out, allaboutguitaracademy.com. Get your free ebook. Now let's jump back into the lesson. All right, welcome back to All About Guitar Academy. I don't know about you, but Tom Petty was such a legend in my mind. I mean, when I hear some of his songs today, I still get goosebumps. He was an awesome musician, wrote so many killer tunes on guitar for rock and roll and made history. So today we're going to look at 3 songs. I'm not going to play the entire songs all the way through. I'm just going to show you the main riffs and the chords. And if you stick around till the end of the video, I'll also give you some bonus tips on how to play these songs on acoustic guitar, for example. So if you're just starting out at guitar, you're brand new, beginner, you've come to the right place. I'm going to keep this as simple as possible. So let's look at the opening riff for Running Down a Dream. And basically we're playing this song with these chords, E major. Now in case you want to make your guitar sound kind of like mine, here's what my settings look like on my Blackstar practice amp. It's just a 10 watt Blackstar amp. I'll put in the description in case you want to get an amp like this. They work really well. But I'm playing E major. All right, and then we've also got D5. We're going to be using an A5. And in addition to the E major, you'll want to know how to play E5. It just makes it easier. All right, so the way the opening riff goes, it sounds kind of like this. And I'm playing a little bit slower than it goes. It's actually like 170 beats per minute. You know, something fast. It's like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Like that. But I'll show you what we're doing here. I'm doing alternate picking, and I'm playing the open E string. Then I'm hitting here on the 7th fret, string number 6. I'm going back to the open E string. So we're going 7th fret, down to fret 6, down to fret 5, and then down to fret 3. And we're alternate picking, and I'm playing a hammer-on and a pull-off back to the open E. I'll show you. Stick around with me. I'll make this easy for you. And I'm using my dominant finger, the one that's the strongest here, my middle finger. You can use whatever fingers you want. You can start with finger number 3. Sometimes I play it like that. Or, you know, that's not so important right now. I just want you to get the notes here. So we're on fret number 7, open E string first. 6, 5, 3. But we're doing it much faster. It's like... Then we come in with that E major chord, and I'm just basically playing strings 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the end of that E major. So let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. All right, so he does that 4 times, and then we get into the song. And the first chord, of course, is your E major. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Then to a D5. And then back to the E major. And you guessed it, we go right back into that riff. Let's try that one more time from the verse. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, D5. 1, 2, 3, 4. E major. So we're going to do that for verse 1 and verse 2. Then we go into the chorus. Now the chorus chords, we're going to be using a D5. And then we're going to be doing a G5. And then an E5. Or you can do an E major. So let's start with the chorus where he sings, yeah, running down a dream. It goes like this. So I'm doing D5, G5, E5. All right, and keep in mind, the beat is still going fast, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to go E5, back to the G5, and then A5. Then we go right back to that D5. And then you guessed it, goes back to that opening riff. Now, if you're brand new at guitar, this opening riff is going to take some practice because you're doing some alternate picking and you've got to keep the rhythm going at the same time. But it's really good practice for you to just keep practicing this part over and over. And then start getting it faster and faster. I think you get the picture. It's just going to take some practice. Okay, now there is an interlude in the song where we go to a C. I'm going to make it a C5. All right, and then we're going to go to a D5, but you can either play the D5 like this or up here like this on fret number 5, string 5. And then we go back to the E major again. And that is basically the entire song. You just have to put it all together. I encourage you to play along with the track. Okay, I've got my acoustic out. Let's look at Running Down a Dream from playing an acoustic rhythm standpoint. So if you can get your strumming pattern like this with the E major, you want to practice that, and let's play the chords of the song. I'm going to put them up here on acoustic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I realize that might be kind of fast for you, but practice that. That's how it basically goes on acoustic guitar. Hey, let's take a look at American Girl by Tom Petty. Man, what a big hit that was back in the day, still is. The chords we're using on this again are D5. That's pretty much the dominant chord through most of the song. We're also using a G5, an E5, and we want to put an A5 in there as well. Okay, then there's a part in the song where he goes to a B minor, but for right now, let's just make it a B5. All right, and the beat to this song is kind of like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I realize at the very beginning of the song, the intro is kind of like this. And don't worry about that right now, but what he's doing is alternate picking back and forth on this open string number 4 of the D5. But for right now, the beat to the song and the strumming pattern I'm using is just a 1, 2, 3. So it's 1, 2, 3 on each chord. And that'll help you get into the song and into the rhythm of the song. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, D5, E5, G5, A5. All right, and that is what we do through the verses, the first verse of the song. And then from the A5, where he's singing somewhere else, after all, it was a great big world. Then we go to the G5. Then we walk down to an E5. Then back to the A5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Then we get into the oh yeah, all right part of the song, and this is the chorus. It starts with the G5. Then we're going to do this, instead of a B minor, we're going to do a B5. Then we go back to the G5, A5, and then back to the D. This is the chorus, oh yeah, all right. And then we go into verse 2, and that's the same chords that we used on verse 1. And then we've got an interlude in the song, and I'm just going to keep it really simple. We'll do chords. We're going to go G5, A5, D5. And we go back into the intro again. All right, there's a whole bunch more to this song, but those are the basic nuts and bolts of American Girl. Okay, let's take a look at American Girl on the acoustic guitar. The D5 chord we're using at the beginning of the song. That is your strumming pattern. It's basically a... You get the picture. That's how the verse goes. So let's do the entire verse on acoustic guitar. Then we're into the chorus. let's take a look at the easy way to play Free Fallin' by Tom Petty. All right, now the actual song is in the key of F, and if I'm not mistaken, Tom is playing it with a capo. You want to get one of these if you don't have one yet because they come in really handy. But I believe he's playing it down here on, putting the capo down here on fret number 1 and playing an E chord. But I want to keep this really easy. So let's take our capo and we're going to put it, and if you don't know how to use a capo, I've actually got a video out that I put out a while back, how to use a capo. You can find it right there or in the description. And we're going to put it on fret number 3. All right, and we want to put our capo kind of close to the fret. Make sure you're covering all of the strings, all 6 strings. And we're going to use a D major chord shape, like we're playing a D major chord, but we're going to play that up here on fret number 5 with our capo on fret number 3. All right, sounds kind of pretty. Then we're going to use our pinky and we're going to place that here on string number 1 right after we play the first strum of that D major chord shape. So just practice that. Make that D major chord shape. And then put your pinky down on string number 1. All right. You might want to practice that several times if you're not used to using your pinky. But this is a much easier way to play the song. If you use this D major chord shape, then we're going to do, and all I'm doing here is I'm lifting my second finger, my middle finger, off of the D major chord shape, which is like a D sus2 chord shape. All right, and I'm going to do that again. Okay, now the correct way to play this, if we're going to use these chord shapes and the capo on fret number 3, would be to play an A major chord, for example. So I'll do this again. Okay, and we're going to do that, but for the intro, let's keep it really simple and just do it like this. And that's basically the intro, and then the verse. The verse, we're going to be doing the same thing as Tom begins to sing. And I encourage you to play this along with the actual song so you can get your timing right and everything. And make sure you have your capo on fret number 3. Now, after you go through the verse, you're going to notice that there's a G5 in there. Then we go to that A major chord because the song kind of builds up from that intro chord shape. So I'm going to demonstrate. Now let's pretend that we're all the way through the verse and we're on the chorus. See how that works? It's the same chords basically, but we're using a much fuller chord. We're playing more strings. So we're doing the D major chord shape. Then we're going to a G5. And then we're going back to that D chord shape. And then to an A major. Okay? You notice I'm playing it with one finger like an A5. You can play it the normal way too. All right, and that is basically the entire song, my friend. If you play the song with the track, you'll notice that it builds and builds. Then eventually there's a part in the middle or towards the end of the song where you've got some rhythm guitar going, but it's kind of hard to do that with the capo on. But basically it's like this. So you can see it's an F actually. So I've got an F5 power chord going here. Then I've got a B flat power chord, a B flat 5 power chord, and that's all we're doing there on that part. And that's kind of that rhythm part that you hear towards the end of the song. But I encourage you to learn the song. It's a really, really cool song to learn. People ask for it all the time and request it. And this is an easy way for you to do it, but you need a capo if you're going to do that. So hey, thanks for joining us here today at All About Guitar Academy, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.